What's going on, all you wild fight fans? Your two favorite hooligans are back once again. We've just watched the new Netflix series featuring none other than the notorious one himself. We're talking about Conor McGregor in McGregor Forever.
I'm gonna fight for me. I don't let defeat faze me. The true champions rise again. It's McGregor forever. And don't you forget it.
That's right. The new series now streaming on Netflix. He had the series, other documentary series, Notorious, but this one is McGregor Forever, just released on Netflix and really dives into the life of Mr. Kana behind me. 2018, coming off that little break he was on, going up against the big fight, which is kind of when I started watching. It was with Khabib, and then everything after that. So you knew obviously watching this fighter for many years. You're the one that got me into Conor McGregor, really into UFC. So this really opened my eyes to the persona of Conor McGregor.
Ever since he came into the UFC in 2014, he was this brash, outspoken kid from Ireland that was knocking people out. And when he came over to the UFC in 2014, he put everybody on attention, including Dana White, who is the president of the UFC. He got his attention mainly by going into the fights and predicting like what he was going to do and how he was going to win. He was that laser focused. He was this hungry fighter from Ireland who always wanted to be a fighter. But with that being so tough to make it as a fighter, he had tried some other things, being a plumber for a while, and he found out that he didn't want to do that. He wanted to follow his dream. He always wanted to be a UFC fighter, and that's what he did. He put his heart and soul into training, and then that's what this documentary really shows. Like you mentioned, it picks up mainly with the Khabib fight, but it also shows before. It shows when he was up and coming. It showed some footage from his earlier fights, from when he was really struggling. He didn't have any money to his name. He had a girlfriend, and that's about it. Somebody that believed in him too, and I think that really, solidified him and his dream. He had somebody that was backing him and was behind him when pretty much everybody else outside of his family and his girlfriend and his life didn't believe in him. So his story, it's really inspiring if you watch it. A lot of people tune in now and all they see is this, larger than life egomaniac with, now he's a billionaire. He's done all this crazy stuff, but seeing where he was at the beginning to how everything happened, and that's what this series really shows. It documents everything behind the scenes, him leading up to the fights, starting with that Khabib fight and all that bad blood. They had so much bad blood brewing. Conor had all these bad feelings because Khabib threatened one of his teammates, and it got really personal after that. McGregor attacked Khabib's family, and with Khabib being from Dagestan and being a Muslim, that's one thing you don't do with Khabib. Talk about his family and bring religion into it. So that put these two fighters on a collision course. And leading up to the fight, there was a lot of drama. There was the bus incident, which this showed, and it just shows you when you have negative feelings, even towards an opponent you're going to fight, when you let that sort of drama and negativity creep in, sometimes that's not a good thing. And that's really what the first episode showed for McGregor Forever.
Yeah, just from the get-go of the episode, it was really cool building up to that whole Khabib fight. I totally got like a Rocky IV vibe from that. Like there was so much blood and intensity and hatred towards one another. Even at the press conference, they were just talking shit, and there was a lot in the line. But I felt like Dolph Lundgren versus Rocky when the first fight in this series, which was really phenomenal. And then also going back with young Conor McGregor too, seeing him no tattoos, pimply faced, up and coming fighter from Ireland that really had this dream to be something larger than life and be a great fighter. And you see him fast forward many years later to see how much success he's gotten, how much money he's gotten too.
Exactly. He was doing some amazing things early on in his career. Had a couple fights and was, people were learning his name here in the States. Nobody really knew about him. But as he started winning, he started predicting how he was going to win. Each and every fight leading up to his first title fight against Jose Aldo, he was calling the shots, saying exactly what he was going to do. And he's putting on these like near flawless performances going in. And he didn't make any excuses. He said this is what he was going to do, what he was going to go after. And going into that Jose Aldo fight, Jose Aldo was the most dominant champion for a while at featherweight. That's 145 pounds. That's where Conor started at. Now, just picturing Conor now and what he looks like. It's amazing that he ever fought at that weight. He had to cut so much weight. And that's another thing this series shows, all the weight cutting that had to happen before these fights. Literally, you could see him almost wanting to give up on life and just, he'd do anything for food at some points, just trying to make the weight, trying to cut down to 145 pounds. It's pretty crazy to see. But it just took so much grit and determination to finally realize that. And he's putting on these phenomenal performances, calling his shots, and then finally winning the title. And, before the fight, he was practicing that move, that punch that he used on Jose Aldo. I think it was seconds into the first round that he knocked Jose Aldo out. He was practicing that before the actual match. It's pretty amazing. So he captivated audiences by doing exactly what he was going to say, predicting and being more and more dominant as it went on. Going into the Khabib fight, he had faced some adversity. He had this, larger than life fight with Floyd Mayweather in boxing. He'd gained all the superstardom, so he took it over to the boxing world. And that's another thing. The series touched on that too, just how big and popular he got by going over to the boxing world and challenging this, amazing boxer and Floyd Mayweather.
Then it also dives into some other fights, Cowboy Cerrone and then Dustin Poirier.
That's right. Yeah, it really dives it into it. Each and every camp. Now, I've followed Conor McGregor's career now, so it seems like all at the same time, it seems like a long time ago and not really too far ago. But his career's obviously, he's winding down now. He's ramping up to fight Michael Chandler later this year. So it'll be interesting to see where this story goes from here. He's already pretty much accomplished everything that he's wanted to accomplish. But these last few fights, specifically the ones with Dustin Poirier, haven't went well. He beat Dustin Poirier his first fight back at featherweight pretty easily, knocked him out. But then Dustin Poirier came back and really beat him pretty easily these last two fights. And then Conor had that catastrophic ankle injury, which not a lot of athletes would ever come back from. And it really documents that and shows Conor in the hospital, going through all that mental strain, just the not only the pain from the actual injury, but seeing all the things that he worked towards and, some of the things that he wanted to happen, not happen. So you see him all the way, the highest of highs, and you see him at the lowest of lows, which is what these fighters go through on a daily basis. They put everything on the line and most of them lose, they lose it all too, so you're going through the highest of highs and lowest of lows. And that's where we see McGregor. We see him all the way at the bottom from this pimply faced kid, like you're mentioning, all the way to this big, superstar. So it's going to be interesting to see where he goes from here. But this, if you've never seen any of Conor McGregor before, you've heard of the name, you kind of know of his persona, give these 4 episodes a watch on Netflix. You'll really get a good glimpse into somebody that started from nothing and really, got it all and is going to have to work his way back. And we'll see where his story goes from here.
Yeah, this is a really phenomenal series. I didn't really know too much about his backstory besides being from Ireland. So, from the start of his career to where he is now, you see how much he's changed, the highs, the lows, everything he's been put through, being a cocky, showboater essentially is what he is. Great fighter, but then it comes back to bite him in the ass. He gets his ass whooped a few times and then he stops being so cocky and just being humble and going back to fighting what he's truly passionate about. And then besides that, you see the core of Conor McGregor. They peel back the layers. You see he's a hardworking dad. A lot of it's him and his family and his kids and showing that he loves his family and will fight for them. So there's a lot at stake here in the series. Really had me captivated. Molly loved this as much as I did. Just shot very well. The editing, the whole story, the whole crew, Conor's crew that's been with him forever. You can see all the different characters in this that really go behind the man, the fighter that we all love. And I have a new appreciation for Conor McGregor after watching this and really had a great time with it. So that being said, I'm going to give McGregor Forever, now streaming on Netflix, a 4 out of 5 Conor McGregor hair pieces.
Conor McGregor, we're not here to take part. We're here to take over. So many great quotes. I've been ride or die with Conor forever. He's made some bad moves. He's made some mistakes. He punched an old guy in a bar. He's probably drinking too much whiskey. I really want to see him make one last run and put together a couple wins, or at least get one more big win. And before he goes out, he doesn't have too many years left fighting. He doesn't have to do it anymore, but you can tell that he really loves it if he keeps coming back to it. You can tell he's got that fighting spirit. And I feel like we haven't seen the last of, Conor McGregor in the UFC. He's going to do some big things to come, but this one really shows that, this time frame from when he came up to where he reached all the glory, and then he had his downfalls too. So it's going to be fun to see him rise from the ashes again. And then, of course, he's going to go on from this to, he's going to be in the new Roadhouse movie. So that'll be interesting. And that should probably line up with the next time we see him come inside the octagon in towards December, I think. So with that being said, I am going to give McGregor Forever a 4 out of 5 UFC hair pieces. So we want to hear from you guys. What did you guys think of the new Netflix original series, McGregor Forever? Did you guys binge it like us? Are you guys excited by seeing Conor McGregor back in the octagon this year, possibly? What do you think? Is he on the juice? Yes.
Yes.
But if that's what it takes to heal the man's ankle and to get him back in the octagon, hey, I'm all for it. He's already given the fans and everybody, things to cheer for all these years. And let's get him back in the octagon again. And let's drink some proper 12, shall we? Thank you guys so much for watching our review of the new Netflix series, McGregor Forever. As always, you can go to our website, Cinephellas.com, and follow us along all our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, for all the latest and greatest TV movie news and reviews. So until the next Cinephellas TV review, I'm Uncle Henry McGregor.
And I'm Uncle Logan McGregor. Until the next TV review. Cheers!
Cheers!